A wizard is never late. Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Welcome to the Commander Smiths.
We are the Commander Smiths.
I'm Adam Smith.
I'm Lowry Smith.
Don't worry.
We're cousins.
This is episode 329, and we're continuing with our Modern Horizons kind of breakdown. What exactly are we doing on the episode tonight, Lowry?
Well, I was just writing it down. It's supposed to be a top 10 plus, but really I put top 16, and that is pretty much what it is. Maybe even a top 20. We don't know at this point, because there's a lot of cards we like. A lot of them.
Especially when you include the commander decks. Like, we ended up having, we were going to originally, add 5 in there, and then we're like, we have too many other cards to talk about. So really only including one from there, kind of, and then... Well, for sure, there's one.
It's just one. It's a legitimate one.
But there could be more. Like, the commander decks have...
There could be more.
There's a lot of good stuff in there. So it's just, oh my gosh. and for the first time, and I think since we've done the top 10, we're not ordering these because...
Absolutely not. We spent 45 minutes just to try and get the list to where we're at. With the top 25.
So,
and
I guess the good thing is if you're buying Modern Horizons stuff, you're probably getting good stuff for Commander, because there's a lot of good Commander stuff in this. It's pretty ridiculous. So
they never forget us Commander players. So love you, Wizards. But there's a lot of crazy cards, and we have Stump the Smith Savant tonight as well.
Oh, and
right. And who's
Renshai?
Who am I going to guess real quick here?
I like the shit talking. Renshai, and he's on tonight, so he's a.
Is that why you were shit talking on Curated today?
He was
just trying to psych me out. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, he's
thanks for getting my video to 500 there, Renshai. Appreciate it.
Oh, good for you. Let me get back to that.
Oh, good for you.
But it is this is Anointed Procession, the one that my youngest helped me make. The little foil proxy here that is up for grabs, and this is the third week. So if you don't get stumped, which are you going to talk shit? I mean, are you going to get stumped?
Can I just guess right now? Probably a lightning bolt or jackal.
It might be. If you don't get stumped, we will add an actual card, not a proxy, next week to the ante. So every 3 weeks we add a card. So make sure you guys get your suggestions in, or your entries in. We'll get to that when we get to Stump the Smith Savant. So yeah, we got that. We got this. There's a lot of cards to talk about, so we'll probably just kind of get into it, and then to start it off, we'll give two shout outs just because we did get new patrons. So I do want to give that. We do have a new patron, Adam Anderson.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
And I also want to give a shout out to Ted. Ted made Golden Garukdong. I forgot to announce that last week. So congratulations to you, and thank you for the support on that. So he also gets a Do you have your mat that you can show? Probably not. Mine's right below me. So
Is it Kill the Smiths?
Kill the Smiths. Yeah, Kill the Commander Smiths play mat when you reach the Golden Garuk Dong level. And the Garuk Dong thing is an old bit that we did, and it's just kind of stuck, and that's our level of. There it is, right there. Kill the Commander Smiths. The people that reach just the Garuk Dong level, it doesn't have the Kill the Commander Smiths on it, so that's kind of the cool thing. So. Thank you, Ted. Forgot to announce that last week on that. So, okay, let's get to the actual. Should we get right to the episode like we've been doing lately? Let's see. We need this little guy right here. So we're doing top 10, 15, 16, 17 commander cards.
At least 17. We got a couple, at least one grouping, maybe two.
For Modern Horizons 3. So I'm excited for this set, man, because I love the Modern Horizons stuff. They have not missed on these, and it looks. I got a lot of FOMO this weekend
With
today.
people that were able to
Everybody's
crack.
fucking posting their pictures on Discord. It's just like, damn it! Before we get too far into it, I am drinking a Lupulin chocolate peanut butter porter. So I'm continuing with my chocolate peanut butter. This time I'm not doing the Waconia. So. That is what I'm drinking tonight. What are you drinking, Lowry? Are you drinking the one from me?
I don't know. It's mixed right now. It's Founders. You gave me some beer for my birthday, so I had a breakfast stout, a porter, and I've drank both of those, and then I added in a
whatever
one with higher percentage from last week, and then I got one more porter left.
So it depends on how the night goes here. And Henge, everybody's saying Great Henge is number one. Yep, it would be if it was in it. Sorry.
It would be. It is the number one card ever made.
Again, we don't have this ordered, so we didn't do that.
Right, this isn't going to be ordered at all.
Yeah, this is all over the place.
If we bring up a card, we might say, "Ooh, this is
really good.
This is up there for sure." But we didn't have time. We ran out.
And RoboCop,
because
thank you, Renshai. RoboCop says Urza's for life. Look at the shirt. And sitting there.
We don't even need to bring that into this.
Get the fuck
That
out.
was so. We can move on.
All right. Okay, so this is our top 10 plus commander cards. Let's get the one that's in the commander set. And I talked about it we did our deck breakdowns last week. You guys can check those videos out to see if Joe, get out of here. Team Forest Walk for life. God damn it. You deserve this. Where is it?
Get the fuck
There you
out!
go. So top 10, I talked about this last week. We did our deck upgrades. That's going to be this
kiss I
week.
blew this time. This is going to be a kiss blowing episode, by the way.
Lucky. So we did our deck Is It Worth It episode last week. So you guys should check that out of all the commander decks. The one that kind of stood out the most is the only one that makes the list really on this. There's a bunch of them that we almost had on here.
I think there's some legitimate lands
Yes. There's
that people should check out in the green blue deck. That's
pretty damn good. Yeah.
and go check out the videos that we talk. We break down the value and everything on those last week.
So
If there's a deck that you're most interested in, you can click on that. We also plan on doing upgrades this week sometime.
Yep.
But
got to fit it in there.
probably the coolest card out of all of them from the Eldrazi deck.
Is the Eldritch Immunity. So this has the one colorless. Way to lead it in there, Lowry.
I know.
One colorless Kindred instant. It is an Eldrazi, so it's that Kindred tribal whatever instant there. So target creature you control gains protection from each color until end of turn. You can do the Overload, which is 4 and 1 colorless, and then all your creatures gain protection from all colors. So.
Right.
This is just ridiculous. This is a really good card. It can fit in every deck, pretty much. It gives you protection from everything.
One thing that just hit
colors.
me, because this is it a Chroma's Will? The one that gives double strike protection,
Yes. Yep.
indestructible. This feels like just a part of that. So, but it can go in every deck. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Is that obviously the will is just for white decks and cards, and it's a great finisher, to whereas this is for any deck.
Yes. Yep.
And it's not quite a finisher, but unblockable, block everything, protect it from wraths,
There's
damage wraths. But
so many variations of what you can do, like protect, like you just said, protecting, game winning, and the overload isn't that crazy. 5 is not that much to get the overload for this to take effect. So it's almost like the colorless part is the hoop you have to jump through, which is not hard to get. There's lots of soul rings, there's lots of mono rocks. You have colorless.
Just lands that produce the colorless part, like that have an activated ability of.
Just kind of thought this through today, or maybe it was yesterday. I don't know. My days kind of, as a parent, they just kind of blend together. But I was thinking, the more and more Eldrazi stuff that we get, God, I'm having a delay. That throws me off. The more and more Eldrazi stuff we get where you have the colorless symbol.
You look at me, not you.
That's what I normally do. I
you.
normally look at you, but when I move my hands and then I see them not move for a half a second, it throws me off. Does that become more important? This is a different topic. Never mind. But I was going to say, does that colorless make those lands that can produce a colorless and a color, do those become more important because of that? I mean, I think
we're talking about like pain lands or filter lands or
something like that. I don't think it's.
I generally run enough utility lands that produce a colorless anyway that it's not like
Okay.
Now, if we were to talk about
you're
Eldrazi Confluence with 2 colorless, maybe.
Are we going to talk about that?
We're not.
Yeah, I thought we scratched
but that wasn't
it.
kind of on the list. We cut that about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, we did. All right, Larry, why don't you move us on to... we're just doing picks. We're doing this a lot different than we normally do.
Right.
We just have a list of cards that we like, and now we're just going to do picks on which ones we are going to take here. So all right, what is the one you want to talk about?
So I'm going to pick from my list that you didn't necessarily agree with, and I'm just going to get them out of the way right away, because this is where it is. Generally, when there are cards that like kind of overlap with stuff that's already there, we know that it's going to be really popular. We give it a quick mention, and we'll do that right now, depending on how quick we want to talk about it. But Marionette Apprentice, 1 in a plaque for a 1/2 with Fabricate 1, which means it can be a 1/1 counter or a 1/1 artifact creature. And then whenever a creature or an artifact goes into the graveyard, each opponent is dealt 1 damage, or they lose 1 life. A little bit different. But whenever another creature or artifact you control is put into the graveyard, all your opponents lose 1 life. Now, we have cards that, like Zulaport Cutthroat is for a creature, deals 1 damage. And the artifact ones are kind of like target players. So, like,
and
Marionette.
They're red. I mean, a lot of them are red that deal with the... Well, you do have the one that's black that deals with the...
No, there's the other one, too. It's 1 black mana, 1/1, and whenever an artifact goes into the graveyard, any graveyard, target opponent loses 1 life. So those are kind of the 2 artifact ones.
I love
black.
abilities where it's everybody. I hate the targeting thing when your game plan is to sacrifice or kill your stuff. I don't like picking on one person because that's what I do naturally anyways, is then I'll try to even it out and space it out. So I like it when it hits everybody. The fact that this one, the big reason, like you sold me on this one, is it's another creature or an artifact. It is what you control. So some of those other ones are good because of it's whenever a creature leaves the battlefield or whenever an artifact. But this is, you have the benefit of both worlds where it's artifact and or creature. And it feeds itself. You're getting kind of feeds itself. It gives you one of those things to be able to sacrifice and start the damage going.
But just a 2 mana 2/3 that does this is pretty good. Like that cost is crazy. Like you're saying, it deals damage to everything. This is better than Zulaport Cutthroat by far. It has a little bit of a butt. It's not just 1 damage that's going to knock it off. I think this is a really, really, really good card. We have a lot of comparables to it. It fits right in there, if not better than a lot of them. And so this is going to be played a lot. You're going to see a lot of it. But again, it's like a lot of cards. So moving on.
Oh, we get a retro version of it too. Look at this little guy. I like the art in this one too.
Foil?
I wish this one was in full art, but obviously it's an uncommon, so they wouldn't do it there. Okay, let's continue with the ones that we were both like, hey, I wanted this, you didn't necessarily, so I'm gonna get one of those in there. I'm gonna hit.
Right. I think we knocked those off because generally how we do it is Adam sends me his list and I look at my list and I go, this is what we have crossed over, because he can't read my handwriting anyway. So
that is
and then
100%.
he goes, this is what I would
Not only
really
that, because I
want
can't
on.
read, and then I can't read
No.
your handwriting. You mix those two together, then
It's rough.
it's
And then I go, I would really like these, and then
We
it
both
kind of
kinda-
whittles down from there.
That's why
and
we're at
today,
17.
We didn't whittle anything down. We just
said
everything's
we're
on.
keeping
What-
everything. So
what do you got?
the first one I'll talk about is shifting woodland. There's a cycle of the lands here. So this one is the green one. It's shifting woodland. Enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a forest. Pretty easy because it's not necessarily a basic forest. You can have a dual land that makes this activate, so you don't have to actually have it come into play tapped. So that's pretty easy, especially in green.
Pretty easy.
Taps for green at the very least, but then you have delirium. So if you have 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, you can activate this for 2 and 2 green. It becomes a copy of target permanent card in your graveyard until end of turn. Just seems pretty damn. It's like recursion built in on itself. I know it's until end of turn, but if your big baddie gets killed, or even if you're feeding your graveyard, if you're able to throw stuff in there. I mean, of course, I said it because I was going to say Goif. Of course, your Goif
A
decks.
coif? We're going to
Goif-
talk about goifs.
Goifs. Your Goifs are going to work fantastic with this because you're trying to feed your graveyard and everything. And so this works well with that. But I think just in general, in a normal commander game, you're able to copy stuff that you get killed early on in the game. It's a land, so people aren't going to notice this one as much. Currently this one's over $10. This is the most expensive out of the bunch.
Oh wow.
So the other ones I think are a couple bucks, but I think this one's gonna get
The others
used
are
quite a bit.
really cool and playable.
Yes,
for
yeah, I
sure.
like the blue one. That was another one on my list of mentioning it, but the blue one's cool. I don't remember what the other ones do, but the blue ones help improvise of your stuff. So take a look at all these. These are all pretty sweet.
This probably goes in the Mothman real nice.
Oh, that's a good
Like
point.
anything that's
Yeah.
going to be self-milling.
Yeah.
I'm surprised this is at $10. But I mean, right now, again,
Right,
sets
it's new.
hardly out,
New.
if that, and you're gonna see hopefully a dip in a lot of maybe cards.
Yeah, especially at the rare slot here. So
This is definitely a cool card for sure.
all right, I know what your next one's gonna be, so I can already start typing it. So why don't we get us to your next one, Lowry?
We'll do another one that has a very close comparable. That is, oh, I wasn't gonna do that.
Oh,
one,
sorry.
but I'll
I
do
thought
it.
that was-
All right.
All right. That's one that you're going with.
All right. Oscillate Pride. 1 white for a 1/1 first strike lifelink kitty. Has Ascend, which means you need 10 or more permanents in play for it to activate. And at the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 1/1 white kitty. Then, if you have the city's blessing, for each token that you control that entered the battlefield this turn, create a token that's a copy of it.
This works with
This
all
is kind of-
tokens. All the tokens.
All the tokens, not just the 1/1.
But
That
at least
you will
get-
automatically make it. You're putting this in a life gain deck. Like, this is happening. I have like 3 decks that this easily goes into. But also, essentially how I'm looking at it as a 1 mana, a little bit of a hoop, and also 1 trigger at the end of your turn, but anointed procession. Most token making is happening on your turn. This counts for like if you were able to get like a Smothering Tithe and treasure tokens or clue tokens. It's not just creature tokens that are being created. Any token that you're making this turn gets copied. Again, at that 1 mana spot, that's super efficient. Also, it goes in basically every cat deck, right?
Well,
That's
yeah, right.
people
But
like that.
the other part is it activates itself because it has the first strike and life link built in on it. Obviously,
All you got to
it's a
do is be able
1/1.
to attack with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody's open, that first turn you're able to attack with it, you're getting a 1/1 kitty at the very least. The most you're doubling that token. That's not the most. It's the next. If you have the Ascend, you're getting 2 tokens. Do they have lifelink? No, they are just cat tokens. But still, like you
Right.
said, anything else that you're making, treasure tokens, clue tokens, anything that has tokens, you're doubling that if you made that turn.
And also, like we're looking at this card, and more than likely, it is a token and or life gain deck. And so tokens you're going to get to ascend pretty quick. You're making your own tokens. If you're in a token making deck, you're at ascend on turn fucking 4 or 5. Like that. It's like that.
Yeah.
Right. And like you said, this sets off the lifelink pretty easy. This card seems like it's going to be really good to profit off of.
Yeah, that's funny.
White go wide. Yep, like you're saying.
Well, it's sarcastic profit. That's who just commented. He said new auto include for white go wide. Yeah. So yeah, totally agree. All right, so I guess I know what your next one was. I forgot that you had that one in there. So
that's the third time you forgot I had it.
Yeah, I didn't even write it down. So the next one I want to talk about is invert polarity. I think this one's kind of a fun card. So this is 2 blue and 1 red. Instant. Choose target spell, then flip a coin. If you win the flip, gain control of that spell and you may choose new targets for it. If you lose the flip, you counter the spell. So at the worst, you're countering a spell. I mean, I hate countering spells. Counter spells suck. But this is kind of fun. This is one I would play with because gaining control of the spell, and one point that you made when we were talking about this and what kind of you were like, oh yeah, I like this one a little better, is it's not an instant or sorcery. It's any
That's
spell.
how my brain made it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's any spell. So somebody's like, hey, Blightsteel Colossus. Oh, how about I take that from you? Or at the very least, it gets countered and shuffle back in, blah, blah, blah. But you have a chance of taking any creature spell, any enchantment, any artifact, any spell. You have a chance of taking it. And at the worst, you're countering it. This is just, for that one extra red, this seems really, really solid. And I think I'd play this. As a counter spell hater,
well, you have a coin flip deck too, so
that's a good point too. So
that works.
that
Like
will
this
go in
obviously goes in the flip coin deck.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like the only place where when we talked about this before precast was if there's a wrath going off and you want and or need to counterspell it and you end up taking control of it,
right?
It's still wrath, and you're like fucking A. Like that's the only situation where I don't.
Can I choose my targets as 0 targets?
And so that's I still think it's a really, really cool card. The upside of just stealing a spell for 3 mana is interesting.
Yeah,
to say the least. It's really interesting.
And it fits in the coin flip stuff. Okay, so we're speaking of counters, and it seems like we like counters because the next one you're going to talk about is a counter, right? And what is the one you want to talk about?
Yeah, that is what I wanted last time. But okay, I don't remember how I introed the last one. But basically, it's Swan Song, but it's Strix Serenade.
That's right. Strix.
1 blue mana, instant. Counter target. I just know it's good. Give me a second. Counter target artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue bird creature token with flying. So instead of instant sorcery enchantment, this is artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Not gonna say this is better, but it's very comparable. And 1 mana instant counter those things to give them a 2/2 blue birdie. Makes sense to me. I think this is going to be played a ton.
Such a douche.
Even though negate is used more than like soul rend or something, or remove soul. There we go. It is still going to be used a lot.
I dig it. I mean, it's one. I won't play it.
Right. It's a 1 mana counter spell. I haven't played. I don't know if I've played Swan Song since they printed it.
I have it. It's in the collection,
a while.
But I don't do anything with it. I don't know what to do with it because it's a counter spell. Yeah, but you're right. This is going to be used a lot. This is definitely a used card. You're looking at AJ's team non-basic land walk.
3-line hashtag. Jesus, you're as bad as that as we are.
NBIW?
Team non-basic land walk. So I guess you're not going to be turning the non-basics into islands anytime soon?
Speaking of that, maybe we should just talk about that one since we're talking about that.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, since we're all about segues, right. Which we're normally not.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, I'll just go for it because we were mentioning
it.
So, Harbinger of the Seas. So this is a Merfolk wizard. For two blue, one colorless,
Two blows?
two blue.
Huh?
Merfolk Wizard, like I mentioned. And what it does is non-basic islands are islands. So we got a Blood Moon on a stick here with blue though. So now we're changing things to islands. So I mean, there isn't much more to talk about it. I want a cycle of it. Now I want non-basic to mountains and non-basic to plains and non-basic to hashtag team fuck yourself.
So the sad part is in comparison with the Blood Moon version of the guy, because that's probably like a human shaman or something.
Magus of the Moon.
Yeah, Magus of the Moon. That's if that was a goblin, I'd be all about that.
Oh, because
This being a merfolk is so good.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because
it might go in my hackball deck. That'd be a douche there, but I am blue and green.
Joe's right here with me. Team Island Walk. This is Yavimaya all over.
That's not your thing though.
It is. Have you ever played a Lord of Atlantis?
What?
Pretty sure Jake
had that
with it.
stupid deck.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
We have
So,
some
but
some scars from Jake.
yeah,
in
we
more
do.
ways than one.
I've become so numb. But this card's gonna be great. Magus of the Moon is an awesome card. It's great to hate on non-basic land players
What is
like me and you.
Magus of the Moon? What
Of
is the
the
creature
moon?
type?
I
of it?
believe it's human
wizard. Okay,
I thought it was shaman, but wizard.
wizard.
Yeah.
Okay,
So if that was a goblin, wizard, or shaman, that'd be fantastic. And if you could, the green one should be an elf. You know what I mean? It should go old school, and so white should be the human and or soldier.
well, yeah, I guess. I mean,
And
angel.
black could be a zombie.
White could be an angel. I mean, that fits.
I don't know. Wait, why the fuck are you going so
I
high?
don't know.
Red could be dragon then.
Oh, I like that.
Then they fucked up with this. This should be like
I like that it's merfolk. The
a
merfolk.
Leviathan? Should this be a Leviathan? Oh, that could be legit Leviathan.
No,
Yeah.
that'd be the smallest Leviathan for the you could.
No, but it'd have to cost
Be
like
like a
6
baby.
mana Leviathan.
Well, that would be terrible for modern.
No,
That would
why are
be
we having
awful.
land hate so cheap? Why are we having land? Why is land hate a 3 mana thing? I
'Cause
don't
you
I don't agree
You
with
should
it.
only play with basics, is what they're trying to teach you. Is
That's
stop playing.
I will not learn that lesson ever.
I won't either until all my non-basics get destroyed and I can't find basics.
Right.
Thanks, Lowry.
Right.
All right.
Right.
There isn't much more to say to this.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it's a good card. Lowry, what is going to be your next pick off the list?
I already did my 3. And
Yep.
you've
Now
done
we're in-
yours?
Now we're into our choosing of stuff.
Okay. I don't know if you're holding off on like the best of the best. I don't, obviously C's is not. That's pretty high up there. I'm gonna go with what we were debating on taking off potentially. So I'm kind of backloading a little bit,
Oh.
not saving
All right.
the worst for first. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Ugin's Binding.
Lowry's saying that
This card
is
seems
the worst.
really, really interesting. 2 and a blue. It has Devoid.
wanna see-
Instant. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. And that doesn't sound good, right? But whenever why did you change it to this art?
Because this is the one that I had for the thumbnail, and I
It's
just
the
figured
fucking
out. I just figured out now that if we would have taken this off the list, the thumbnail that I made for the whole fucking episode would have been null and void. It would have been like complete clickbait that this wasn't even on there.
It was
Like,
a clickbait
I'm
tease,
glad that
not
we did
on there.
not cut it because
Good luck.
then I would have
right.
had to do some changes after this.
All right. So it bounces for 3 mana. That's not very good. But whenever you cast a colorless spell with mana value 7 or greater, you may exile Ugin's Binding from your graveyard. When you do, return each non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. This is we're
Cyclonic
talking
Rift.
Cyclonic Rift.
And it's the same 7. It's 7. Like it's the
Right.
thing you hold back for the overload for Cyclonic too. So it's you get 1 bounce before that, and then you get sneaky bounce later, I guess. It's not as
Right,
good.
but the problem is
There's a
that
hoop, a
that
big hoop.
colorless is not going to be at instant speed.
Right.
It's going to be on your turn. Right. Not a bad thing, but you're not stopping anybody from attacking you in that regard.
Right. You're not doing it right before your turn's going to start, and boom, that's when you get your mana untapped. You get to do stuff. This is typically going to be on your turn. Are there spells that are instants that are colorless? I can't think of any off the top.
But you're
that
talking
are
about like
good.
not of this world, which is 7 mana instant that you can cast for free.
You want me to
So
check it
that
out?
that could work in that regard, but it's very specific.
I'm checking it out. Oh, it is. Yeah. Yeah.
But you need a creature that you're protecting of 7 power or greater. So like you're already there. Like what the fuck are you doing with Ugin's Binding? Just making it worse for everybody.
Yeah.
Like when we were going through the list, obviously an Eldrazi deck. If you have a 5-color Eldrazi deck or blue involved, like this is fucking in there. It's crazy good. But after that, you only really have a handful of cards.
You're talking
that-
like Ugin itself, Karn.
Karn.
What else do we have? We don't have any other planeswalkers.
If you're
do we?
running some of the Eldrazi
Yeah.
Titans, like in that regard, Lightsteel Colossus, if you're not cheating that into play, or a Mirror Battlesphere that you're not cheating into play.
So this
And so that
it's a little
kind of
specific.
limited outside of Eldrazi.
Yeah.
Platinum Angel and Empyrean. So like how ubiquitous that's I'm drunk a little bit. Sorry. We can all hit that. There we go.
You can't even read.
And so like what is this doing? Warping Whale's 2 mana?
Yeah.
But I don't think this is it's not a $40 card, by the way. This is a 10 at best. This is a $5 to $10 card.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I just it's really good in an Eldrazi deck.
Yeah. It's
No
gonna
doubt.
be. And that's the thing, that's going to be the hype for a little bit. So
Here, how about this? If I got this, I would send it away as fast as possible. I'm not holding on to this at this price.
I can agree with that. Unless you get the Breaking Borders one like this one. Sounds
Gone.
pretty sexy.
Gone faster. So fast.
Yeah, $50.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sarcastic Prophet agrees with you on that one too.
But whenever you have something, you're like, oh, that's like a Cyclonic Rift. You should fucking sit up and look at it a little closer.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
This is Cyclonic, but with a lot of hoops and not as good. So, but it does have.
It's not as good as one of the best cards in Commander. Weird.
Yeah, they really tried to make it just like it though. Very similar to it. All right, so that one's off the list.
Off the list. What? Where are you going next?
I want to go with one that I know we both really like.
You want?
It's
All
good.
right.
You see what I'm typing?
No, I wasn't looking.
Power
Yeah,
balance. I like this card a lot.
I don't know how good it is, but man, does that look fun.
Yeah. So we know counterbalance, which is douchey because you're countering stuff and does a similar thing because that's 2 blue. This is 2 red enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card without paying its mana cost if the 2 spells have the same mana value. So the cool thing is, obviously, Sensei's top. That's why counterbalance is really good. Power balance is just as good. Being able to, is it? Yeah, you cast it. So
It's
you're
not
able
just as good. It's not as douchey.
yeah, it's
How
not
about
as- Yeah, there you go. You're able to play stuff. But even at its basic, if you don't have a Sensei's top, like this threat of that being there and you're able to play stuff for free, it's freaking fantastic. Like this should be played in almost every red deck. It's kind of a card advantage in a way, and it's hindering people like once they know, because whenever you may reveal the top card, so you don't know what the top card is.
No, you can still look, I believe.
It doesn't say that there though. It says whenever opponent casts a spell, you may reveal the top card of your library. If you do, you may cast that card. So I think the first time you reveal it, that's the first time you're seeing it, unless you have Sensei's top, obviously. because then you're able to look at it before everybody else. Unless I'm wrong with this, but it doesn't look like, and I don't see anything in the rules underneath because it's so new.
Not at this point.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that everybody gets to see it, and that can hinder players. Well, once they see, oh shit, that's mana value 4. Well, I can't cast this or this because they're going to get to play that for free. Like this seems like it's going to do a lot of work, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun in Commander.
Here, can you go check out Counterbalance and look at the wording there? Because so some of the stuff that I remember from Counterbalance interactions is like you can check multiple times within the timing of it. Whenever an opponent plays a spell, that's cast a spell, you may reveal a top card. So if the timing restrictions and everything is very similar, I remember what it was you could show, and then you could top, and then rearrange, and then try from there. So like as long as that spell's almost like on the stack, you can interact with it. And if I'm very certain that's how the Counterbalance can work. So you can check. And then if you're like, I don't like any of that, brainstorm some of this, put something on top. Like you have time to interact with the power balance and counterbalance and keep on trying to counter or put something into play for free. And the other nice thing about power balance is that it doesn't restrict you on what you're casting for free. Like, I feel like this is something where they would have been like, if it has the same mana cost and spell type, you can cast it for free or something. But 2 mana to potentially be casting stuff for free at any time in the game seems
ridiculous.
Yeah, really, really cool.
At current pre-release prices,
yeah, Joe,
$2.
you can cast it on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not doing the timing restrictions.
Yeah, so even if it's
just going, you can
permanent,
cast that.
If it's a sorcery, if it's whatever, it just boop.
You have to cast it right then.
Yeah.
So that's your timing, as in you reveal it. If it matches, cast it.
Yeah.
This
being, especially this version, the full art version right here, the Breaking Border.
That looks pretty.
At $3, I might be getting some of these. Like, this seems like a Commander staple, and I don't know how much they would continue to print this card because they don't print counterbalance. Counterbalance is different. You're countering stuff. But this is just ridiculous. So I thought that
and there's a green version that's like whenever an opponent casts a spell, you can reveal a top card, and if it's a creature, you can put it into play for free. That's what this feels like, but just like anything and cheaper.
Right.
Like
at two. I'm playing more red decks. Really Guess what? I'm playing more red decks.
How many opponents do you have? 3? You're gonna get a lot of triggers there. Especially if you're playing with the top, you know, the scroll rack. This, like when anything that's playing with the top.
When this got revealed, you were like, if you have those to sell, like you were sending me a bunch of your cards to sell, and you're like, if I have top in there, hold off because this might go up because of this card. And I think it did see a little bit of a jump. It's not even out yet, and it already started seeing a jump. So, yeah. Okay, Larry, your choice next.
This is fun. I'm glad that we don't have it ordered.
Yeah.
Let's go with one of my favorite old school cards, but now let's see what this is like. But White of the Reliquary.
All right.
This is a green and a black, and its power and toughness is equal to the amount. Okay, hold on. So it's a Zombie Knight, green black, 2/2, vigilance. And it gets +1/+1 for each creature card in your graveyard, and you can tap, sack another creature, search your deck for a land card, and put on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle.
That's just so good.
This card is better than Knight of the Reliquary.
Right, it's so much better. It's so much better.
Because that cares about the okay, so that one cares about the number of lands in everybody's graveyard, which is really good because you're adding everybody's in. Each creature card, and this is only creatures in your graveyard. But the problem I always had with Knight of the Reliquary was you have to sacrifice a forest or a plains, and this sacking a creature to ramp is so much better.
Right. You don't sacking lands is always it's almost a big no-no in Magic. Like you run into trouble unless it's Urza Saga, then it's fine because
that's also no.
That's the biggest reason why you don't like Urza Saga, and that's why we have this battle of Urza Saga, is because you don't like that. This sacrificing a creature to ramp yourself is ridiculous. Like this is, and it's in green black. It's in the colors. It's Golgari to sacrifice things, your creatures to do other things. Like it's
not restricted to sorcery speed, so you can just be chump blocking, sacrifice.
Yes.
It's not to a non-token creature. Like there are so many things that they could have done to neuter this card, and they didn't.
They did by saying another, so it can't sacrifice itself.
It can't sacrifice itself. Thank God.
That's the neuter
been
part.
broken.
It's just a little snip.
But this is Knight of the Reliquary was not a staple, but a very, very good card in Legacy. It's a good card. And this is
What is that for price?
for a land card. It's any type of land. It's not basic land either. Like I'm excited to play with this.
That is interesting. Gaia's
all
Cradle
about this
comes
one.
in. Oh yeah, I didn't realize that. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it's any land. Yeah, this is a good card, and it's $3. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a rare, but yeah, this is gonna get used a lot. Commander, that's a good one. All right, we're there.
Where you at?
Uh,
I don't know what. I think you're going to pick. I think you're going to WS.
WS. What? What do we have for
The
WS?
second one we agree on.
Oh, that's actually where I was about to go next. Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah, that's where I was actually going to go. I was like, that's a good one to go to. All right. The next one I want to talk about is Warren Soul Trader. So this one is a zombie goblin wizard, 3/3 for 2 colors and 1 black. You can pay 1 life, sacrifice. So we're talking about sacrificing creatures. Here's another sack outlet. This one's sacrificing a creature, but then you get a treasure token. You're paying 1 life, getting a treasure token, sacrificing a creature. So again, we're dealing with this sacking creature deck. It's in black. It works well with that, but you're getting ramp in a way with the treasures built in on it. Like this, it's a fantastic card. This isn't the art that I was. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there's different art for this one.
That's
Ooh.
one. Yeah, that's a second.
Swirly.
I love the border breaking stuff that they have going on with this. It is just a good card. Like there's no tap ability to it, so you could do this more than once. Anytime that, like you said, with the last card, when you're blocking with the creature, block, sack, pay 1 life, 1 life, 1 life, treasure tokens. You're set yourself for your second main phase or maybe your next turn. This is going to get used a shit ton. I don't know what more that's different to say.
I mean,
than the other
again,
one.
in the face of a wrath, you're not necessarily saving your board, but you are ramping yourself dramatically. If there's something that you like, Cyclonic Rift, you're like, I'm not going to be able to replay half of this. You sacrifice what you don't think you're going to be able to replay.
Well, you don't want to do Cyclonic because then your treasures get bounced to your hand.
Oh, that's a good point. God, Cyclonic Rift is stupid.
Sacrifice. I lose life. Oh, yep, those treasures go. Oh,
and
son
then
of
I'm
a
going to
bitch.
float some mana.
Right. There you go. Hey, that's actually an idea. Float them on so then you can cast them.
Well, I don't know if that's going to work either. But think of this card matched up with Marionette Apprentice is bonkers.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Because that creature
you're
is
getting
1
a
damage to
token,
everything.
and then you get the treasure token.
1 to everything. Like, that seems
There's
very
some
good.
things. Yeah. These combo well
Combo, not really. Synergy. It's
Yeah.
called synergy. People. Yeah, this card seems really good.
All
I
right.
like it. Agreed.
What is your next pick? We got a few more here. Wait, Bill.
Is there one that
Bill
you
gets-
want me to work with?
Bill gets this one really quick. He got his play booster box and commander decks today.
Oh, good
Good for you.
You get that one, Bill. Good job. I don't get mine until Friday. No, go for it. I think we leave the big guys, the ones we want to talk about last. If you know what I mean.
Okay, I think I know what you mean.
It's
I'm
like
gonna
the
go with-
last top one that we, not top one, but it's the highest on our list or my list, I guess. I don't know how you had when you wrote them down, but you wrote them down the same order when you were circling and stuff. We're doing some behind the curtain
I'm gonna
stuff.
go with Echoes of Eternity.
Oh yeah, we got an Eldrazi.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm gonna wait for you to pull this one up. Actually,
We get the cool version.
all right. So it's 3 mana, 3 colorless. It's a Kindred Enchantress Eldrazi, and if a triggered ability of a colorless spell you control or another colorless permanent you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Whenever you cast a colorless spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. What the F? What?
Trigger, copy, double. Yeah,
Right.
there's.
And so when you're specifically stating the colorless spell, that is not saying necessarily it's just whatever's on the stack. If it's colorless, that will trigger twice. So they're talking about cast triggers, which is dealing with Eldrazi specifically. But then when they're talking about permanents, they're also talking about any artifacts that ETB with a trigger, or also just
You potentially can get off your cast a double trigger, right? Because you're saying you're getting 2 of them. Oh, would that be a quad?
But do you have an example of what you're thinking here?
I'm just thinking of an ETB. So any of the Eldrazi when they enter the battlefield,
Oh,
like
no, not Eldrazi don't really trigger when they ETB. Those are cast
those are
triggers
cast
generally.
triggers.
Yeah.
Is there any of them that are ETB? Yeah, they
So,
are all
but
cast.
Devoid works within that. So,
Yeah.
but like even if you're talking about like a simple little Mycosynth, not Lattice, but Mycosynth Wellspring, which goes and
The
gets you a
draw.
land.
Oh, then you have the draw one too.
There's the draw one and the land one, but either of them, they're copied, so 2 of them come into play, and then you'd go draw 2 cards, but since that is doubled, you're drawing 4 cards.
4 cards. So there's your double. Yeah.
Right. And that's giving you, so like if you are artifacts centered, like this card's crazy, Eldrazi, obviously, and there's enough artifact decks out there that makes this crazy. Like whenever you want more, so like if you have a bobblehead deck and you want more bobbleheads from the Fallout decks,
Mhm.
like that's where my mind goes with like Dr. Lee. I'm like, I'd like more bobbleheads, but like the
There
cards that
isn't.
copy stuff
Right.
aren't really doing it, but this just sitting out there and copying bobbleheads is going to be nuts.
Yeah. And Sarcastic Prophet said this feels like it could go accidentally infinite too easily in artifact decks. Yeah, there's a lot of things.
That's a good question. I haven't, we don't really think infinite. We don't do that kind of combo stuff, but even so, like if you thought Panharmonicon can create too many triggers, like this is going to do that.
yeah.
Just
I mean,
like
you have
later
this
in the game when you're like, oh, Soul Ring, but now you're like, oh, fuck, it's Soul Ring.
Right.
Like 1 mana 4.
Yeah,
Like
right.
wow.
Well, I was just
At the
about
end
to
of
say
the
that.
game, that's pretty good.
I was gonna say even this and then Panharmonicon coming out, and then you have 2 Panharmonicon. Like,
Is it no? Panharmonicon isn't triggering. It's giving
Oh.
the other things.
But you would
trigger.
get 2
Okay, that's still good.
Panharmonicons. Yeah. Like,
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just a lot. This one is gonna cause a lot of headaches. Of like, all right, let's try to figure out how many things you're getting here, how many triggers you're getting. Like,
Right.
yeah, this is gonna be, it's gonna be kind of crazy. All right, so that is Echoes of Eternity.
But I'm excited for this one. I got a deck or 2 for it. If I had Oscar still around,
But
this would definitely be.
quick
in there,
question
too.
though, with that
Mhm.
3 colorless and 3, doesn't it feel like it has to fit more into, a deck like that? That's a lot. It's 3 colorless to have. You have to almost have it in an Eldrazi type of deck or an artifact deck.
I don't think so. If you're running an artifact deck,
Well, as I was gonna say, artifact deck. That's what I meant. Like a colorless
right.
deck.
It
You
has,
can't
it's
really
artifact,
have it.
and there's tons of artifact decks, right?
Right.
That's a broad spectrum. Eldrazi are kind of Eldrazi decks, but that is added in there.
Mm.
And so I think that hits enough. And like, if I'm going to be picky, like I would go, this is artifact decks, 1 and 2 colors. If you start getting into 3, like a Layla might start getting too tough.
Well, and the other thing is that the triggers are for colorless stuff. So you really wouldn't want to be in a colorful deck. That's basically what it is.
Right.
Because this has no effect. So null and void my question there. So, okay. Let's see. We got basically 3 more, right? Am I looking at our list right? We have 3 more that we're picking.
Uno, dos, tres.
I'm going to go with Necro Dominance is going to be my next one. All right. So
I see
Necro
4.
You see 4?
Yeah.
Well, if we combine.
Oh no, 3. You're right.
Okay.
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't scratch off echoes yet.
All right. So Necro Dominance. This is triple black for a legendary enchantment. You skip your draw step. At the beginning of your end step, you may pay any amount of life. If you do, draw that many cards. Your maximum hand size is 5. If a card or a token will be put into your graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. This is just like Necropotence in a way. Probably a more fixed way. Fixed one. But Necropotence, what is the wording exactly on that?
So the thing that I like about this is that it says you're drawing those cards, to whereas Necropotence puts them into your hand. They're like exiled and
so
then
you can
put into your
use
hand.
it. Yeah. There it is. Okay. Whenever you discard a card, exile it, pay 1 life, exile, put it into your hand. Yeah, so you can take advantage of the draw effect. So like, any decks that have you Necrosar decks, anything that's dealing with. Wasn't Necrosar when you draw?
No, it's whenever your opponents
draw. That's
a
right.
card they lose.
Well,
you
Shieldred, I know I do, but I don't ever play it because
Shieldred loves it. Like this is a fucking bonkers card, Shieldred. Holy shit! I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so you're not losing
I'm gonna
any life.
pay for life, draw 4 cards, and gain
4 life,
8 life.
Well, you're gaining. You're a positive 4,
but really
life.
just positive 4. Yeah, and so I was thinking real small when I said 4. I'm gonna pay all my life but 1.
Right, and hope
double my life and draw half my deck.
Yeah, the other thing is like the maximum hand size doesn't come into effect until the end of your turn. So I mean, you can have as many cards as you want in your hand. So there's no big deal there. And it's at the
I mean, this is end step stuff.
It is. If you do draw that many
so
cards.
it's end step. You pay life, draw cards, and then you discard down to 5 unless you can cast instants at speed or whatever.
Yeah.
And so there is that restriction. I wonder how it. I'm sure there's some layering bullshit if you had like Tower of the Reliquary, the ones
Reliquary
that
Tower?
state.
Oh,
Reliquary Tower. That are like, you have no maximum hand size. Actually, the layering is fine there. Because there is no maximum. Maximum -2 is nothing.
So you're saying
there's maximum hand size is 5. That would layer weird. I don't know how that works with Tower or Reliquary.
I don't remember which
Tower.
one takes over the other.
Yeah, it might matter on which one comes out first or second or whatever.
Is it? I don't think it's an order of when it comes out. Isn't there? There's one that takes over the other. Judge.
We should get a button. We should get that button whenever we get confused on shit like
write
that.
a little note to myself. Judge button.
If you're like, this card's awesome, I'm gonna put Reliquary Tower next to it. Ask a friend or a judge.
Or if we weren't
Because
live
we
right
should have
now,
done that
we
before
would
this. But we just made the list a half hour ago. At this
that's an hour at this point. We're almost an hour in.
Where are we?
It's almost 10 o'clock. Good thing we only have 2 cards left.
Right. We did all right.
And we still have stuff to discuss on.
But this card, I mean, again, when you start comparing cards to Necropotence or Cyclonic Rift, you got to go like,
they're good cards.
It's close to being really good, right?
They're trying to fix it by not being completely broken, but it's still very broken, and people are going to do degenerate stuff with this. This is a very good card.
Well, I mean, the nice thing is if you have to discard cards, those cards are exiled.
Yeah.
like with that last clause.
Yeah, you can't take advantage of throwing stuff into your graveyard and all that stuff.
Right. And also, like, if you care about your tokens dying, this is taking that away because it's a replacement effect with instead at the end. So it is not, tokens don't die here, they are exiled instead. Just like any card, creature, anything coming from play is exiled. So basically you're like killing your graveyard interactions, any triggers there. But I believe Necropotence does something very similar to that effect as well. I don't remember. You could switch back maybe.
Yeah. Necro.
AJ's in Hawaii, so it's only 5 for him.
Necro deals with whenever you discard a card, exile that card from your graveyard.
Okay, so that's just caring about discarded ones. And this is adding in any kind of card. So that would be permanents in play that are cards or tokens. That's all getting exiled.
Yep.
So you got like your own little exile effect on your graveyard. Not many ways to make that important. But if you don't care about your graveyard ever, then this doesn't matter.
Yep. The draw is nice. All right. The last one before we get to the big guys. That's
So mine?
Yep.
No, yeah, I'll go with Fanatic of Aronis. This is 1 and a green.
Oops. Wrong one. Sorry.
I don't know these cards. They're new. 1 and a green. It's a 1/4 and it'll tap for a green. The awesome part is if you have Ferocious, which is you have a creature with power 4 or greater, it will tap for 4 green mana. And it also has Eternalize, which is if it's in your graveyard, you can pay 4 to bring it back as a 4/4 with the same abilities.
So it triggers itself.
It would. And if you got that Ocelot, that'll double the token.
Oh, look at that.
Right there. They work together quite well. But Bloom Tender is really good when it taps for 3+. And it's giving multiple colors, but this has a fat ass. This is thick, right? That's a 1/4 for 2 mana. And
I like drinking Lowry.
And if it taps for 4 mana, that's good.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
like if you start talking about
the
something
thing is-
tapping for 3+ mana,
How often in a commander game do you have creatures that have power 4 or greater? Pretty often.
I know I'd put in my Calmax deck.
This is
Like-
going to be activated without doing its eternalized stuff quite
Right.
regularly. Like it's
Quite.
crazy.
regularly.
Yeah. So this is a great mono rock. Or
That's a
mono
good
dork.
card.
Yeah.
That's dork. Yeah.
Yeah. Do we get
It's
into
doing
the big
work.
guys?
It's good.
Let's get
It's
into the
good.
big guys. All right, we're gonna get to the flares. You know the flares.
This is the last one, right?
Yeah, these are the last ones. So I'm typing in flare because we're gonna talk about a bunch of them. The main one we wanted to start with was Flare of Denial.
Right.
All these flares deal with is sacrificing a color, a non-token creature of that color. So the blue one is 2 blue and 1 colorless, or you can sacrifice a non-token blue creature, counter target spell. The green is dealing with going to get 2 basic lands and put them into the battlefield tapped. The white one, which I didn't realize how good this one was until you
Yeah,
pointed it out.
the
to
white
me.
one's maybe the best.
Yeah, I think you're probably right on this. So this one is a
Maybe.
little bit more. It's
Blue one's pretty good too.
2 colorless and 2 white, but you can sacrifice. Like you have creature. Well, I guess it's non-token, so you can't sacrifice your tokens, but your life total can't change. Permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible. I love that in cards. Like that's one of our things because we don't counterspell. Protection for your stuff is great, and this is also protecting yourself
This
from.
at $5?
Yeah. This is stupid.
Anything that's a free protect all your shit, that's a $10+ card.
Yeah, this is. Oh,
So
Ibukaki got
Dubs,
this one.
go buy this
'Cause
at
remember
$5.
Remember him posting that on the Discord
Oh
today.
my God, that's a pretty card
Yeah,
right
that
there.
is the
Lair of
breaking
Fortitude.
border one.
I like how we're not talking about the blue one. Blue counterspells suck. Shut up. Go away, number 2.
The black one is Each opponent sacrifices a creature and or planeswalker with the greatest amount of value among creatures or plane. I don't like that because you don't get to control it necessarily. So that's why it's towards the bottom of our list, I think. And red, I think, is, you know, it does red things. Target instant or sorcery, you copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So I think the three. I think it's.
I don't know how
white.
much we want to talk about this because we are getting to an hour.
Yeah.
But I think blue and white are tops. I like green and red, and I don't necessarily care about black.
Yeah,
but they're good. And I don't remember who I was talking to. I think it was Noah on the Discord, rat guy, and we were talking about it when these things were released. And discarding a card is probably so much better than sacrificing a non-token creature. Yeah. But when you're talking about like free spells, that's really good. And it's always something that you should pay attention to. Now, there are bad free spells for sure.
Yes.
But these, like, when you're sacrificing a non-token creature that's green or whatever specific color it needs to be, they that allows for the game to like progress a little bit. So I really like the design for this when it comes to high power, but still not like CEDH level. CEDH might still really like this, but I think it's appropriate for not casual groups, but more casual groups, if that makes sense.
Right.
And so like Lair of Malice, the black one, doesn't feel, none of them feel super far off from just being able to cast them.
Yeah, I think
so like it doesn't feel like a bad card to cast it like Flare of Fortitude for 4 mana.
Right, I was gonna say at 4, this is solid. Like you don't need to sacrifice a creature. I'd hold up 4, not have my life change, protect my stuff. I mean, yes, you're talking about Heroic Intervention is 2 and does a similar thing, but your life can change.
But that goes fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's like, but this being able to have that option of, well, I got a creature out here, so I'm gonna tap my mana out and, you know, make it look like I'm open, and boom, I can pop this at any point, especially in white.
Right.
White's very easy to do that in.
Right.
But
like your life total not changing, number one, it's probably going to combo with ad nauseum in some ridiculous way. But number two, like it's a sack white non-token creature, and it's a fog. And you can block and kill anything that they have because your stuff is also indestructible.
Yeah.
Like you can block manage that to kill their big stuff, or just avoid anything with lifelink so they don't recover and they're not dealing damage. Well,
no,
that doesn't quite work. So like technically if something has lifelink, I believe they still gain life, even though your life total, the damage is dealt, but you're not losing life, which is kind of a weird interaction a little bit. But
you wouldn't gain life
if an opponent attacked you with something with lifelink. I believe they would
gain life, but you wouldn't, because your life total doesn't change. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I think our beers are starting to hit us a little.
And so, but yeah, Flare Fortitude, fucking sweet ass card. The counterspell one, really, really cool.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like
cultivation. Those two are really good. The white and blue ones.
The blue one, it's probably the tops of the list because it's the counterspell stuff, and a lot of people are gonna.
And it's any spell, right?
Right, it's any spell.
Yeah.
But that's the one that we're not gonna use ever. Like I haven't used any of the other free ones. This is the one. This is the poster child for us. This is the one that we are going to use a crap ton. You know, like it's a fantastic.
I like how many options we have though too, because there's the one that's free if you have your commander. There's the like the Furious Protection is still obviously really good at 3 mana. You have the one that gives you tokens. There's the one that that's not free.
White has. If you're talking free,
I love the options that it has.
Yep, for sure.
Oh, the Convoke one that phases your stuff out. Like that's really cool.
That one's really good. That one's that's from the D&D one or something. Wasn't that from?
No,
that?
that's
Whatever. We're trying to.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. I Convoke.
I use it.
Convoke it. And phasing. Scryfall it.
If there's anything that we missed that you guys think that should have made the list, we had other ones on here. We didn't.
We had another list to this list. If we.
But on your guys' top 10, if any cards that we missed on your top 10, really would like to hear which ones you guys would put on there.
Right.
Or top 16 or top 20 or whatever number you want to give there. But I'd like to hear any of them that we didn't talk about that you thought should make it. Speaking of like free spell stuff, the more and more we get that, the more and more that it didn't make the list, but that Vexing Bauble I think is an interesting one to have in there. If that gets played more and more.
It was on your list.
It was, I know, but I'm just saying, like, I think that one's kind of interesting as a uncommon as well. So, yeah. So I'd like to hear that. If you guys can put that in the comments, it'd be great. If you're listening MP3, jump on the YouTubes and write a comment if you really want to let us know, because we monitor that. We don't talk about Twitter because we don't do anything with Twitter anymore.
Well, nobody comments there anyway, so it's perfect.
And we don't post anything there anyway. So, all right. So that's it for the Modern Horizon stuff. We're going to get to our Stump the Smith Savant stuff in a little bit here. We got to do some like tag stuff, I guess.
Tags?
I guess. I don't know.
All right. Can I get on my phone?
What are you going to do on your phone?
I don't know. They're on the email.
We don't need to hit tags right away, but we did do this last week because we did talk about the commander decks and everything. So we did which MH3 Precon are you most excited for? Where do you think this shook out? Oh, I kind of showed a little bit there.
Probably Eldrazi. It's the most expensive, so I assume there's the most hype.
But I do
think for the price, green-blue one is the best.
I also said factoring in price.
But people don't read.
I know. But it looks like they did here because Tricky Terrain ended up with 36% of the votes.
Maybe I shouldn't have talked shit.
And Eldrazi Incursion was second, followed by Graveyard Overdrive and Creative Energy. So that's 203 people that voted. So that's a good chunk of people.
And this is the part, we had 3 lands from our like commander list that from Tricky Terrain, which could have been that whatever we talked about.
For sure.
There's some really, really cool lands in there.
And Bill is better at this than we are. If you're watching right now, please, and commenting, please give this a like, because you guys, especially you dieharders and you Discorders, which are probably also dieharders, we have serial thumbs downers. So you have to counteract them. And that the only way you guys do that is by giving a thumbs up.
I'm also very certain it's people that we think support us greatly. So
which it actually hurts us like a little
right.
bit.
I have my suspicions.
I Bukaki. No, I'm just kidding.
Number 2 and probably Cole. There we go. Probably those 3 that we talk about relatively the most.
Yeah, the 3 thumbs downers. I don't like this.
If we mention their name, thumbs down. Or maybe it's the other way if we don't mention their name. I don't know. It depends on how conceited they are. I am not surprised by this. The numbers look right.
This is kind of how when we talked where we thought things would shake out. If you guys are wondering what we're talking about here, if you didn't watch the video, we did do the breakdown of these and kind of told you if they're worth it. Tricky Terrain, spoiler alert, was probably the best value if you take in how much they cost. Eldrazi would be up there, but the cost of it right now is $140.
Yeah, but they have some really cool, powerful cards in there.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah. So, thank you guys all for voting there. Like I mentioned last week, we did do the Is It Worth It? You did do a secret layer opening. How did that go? You got your secret layer ready? I did not.
I got cards that they said they would give me. I appreciate it, Wizards. I got the
Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, thank you.
Starting to get
because I would have fucking butchered that.
Can't
and then I got the April Fool's one,
and then which
word wise looks as hideous as we thought, but art wise looks
fantastic.
amazing. It looks so good. And then what else did I get? I got 3.
You got the playing card one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that looks really good.
I'm disappointed with that one, only because it doesn't have the text on it. Like, you should have what the card does on the card somewhere, but it doesn't. It should be on the backside at the very least, and they didn't do that. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That they completely you have the ability. You have done it in all the other drops with the serial ones of having what the text is on the backside. Why didn't you do that here? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Especially since the was it Coffin Queen? Is that the one, right? Coffin Queen?
Yeah.
That has a shit ton of text to it. Same with
So does Professional Facebreaker.
Professional Facebreaker and Rankle, Prankmaster, whatever his name is. They all have a ton of text, and you have none of that on there. It's like, all right, okay. That doesn't make any sense that they did that, but whatever.
I think also, we're well past the point of like getting the random cards that are in. I like it when they add in. Well, okay, take that back.
You're going back and forth.
I don't like it when they've added the elves, the slivers, and really the planeswalkers. If I'm buying one of the secret layers,
Thanks, Scott.
I generally really just prefer the sketch or an alternate art of one of the cards in there. Even when it's like Gaia's shuffle in your graveyard type thing. Like, all right, but like I like the double brainstorm.
Right.
You know what I mean? They don't have to be the craziest cards in there. Just
I'm
something playable.
I'm back and forth with that because I liked the originals, which was the stained glass planeswalkers.
But I mean, they ran that into the ground.
Yeah, they
so
did.
yes,
Yeah.
I like that.
With the original, when they started, it was great, and then they did it for like 2 years. So then
it was too long.
It was way too long. I liked the slivers. The elves seem odd because they're. I guess the slivers are not that expensive either, but the elves don't have value. The worst was when they did the jumpstart lands because those really did not have any value whatsoever. But I agree with what you're saying, where it fits with the bone, like the drop that's being done. Like if you have a bonus card that fits with that, and so
right.
That Elvish Mystic looks probably the best art out of the entire drop there. Like out of all,
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, and it, almost probably the most expensive card at this point. If you go on eBay or TCG, it is the most expensive card out of the drop.
But like I said, I was even happy with like multiple brainstorms, or you have the one that's the can't attack unless you pay X amount of mana for as many enchantments you have. Ghost Quarter, like I wanted to, I think I would like the bonus card to relate to whatever it is. Like when they have the like bonus swamp, like I'm good with that. If it's like in the artist style, or you know what I mean? I don't like the random cards because I didn't buy the elf or the goblin or the sliver secret lair, even if because that's not what I'm into. It's not what I'm buying. It's not what I'm building. I want those cards. If you can get me something related to that secret layer, I'm happy with it. If that makes sense.
Okay, so it's funny. We're getting into like a secret layer discussion, which
absolutely.
was not even planned at all.
Grumble Lowry here for it for sure.
I agree to an extent, but I think by them doing the random different things in it, it gets you that feel, that adrenaline rush of, am I going to open up something good? You don't know what the card is. But here's where I'll agree with you is what they did with Fallout. I think they should do that more, where you have two that are for sure probably going to be what you get, but a very small percentage, you might either get Wasteland or you might get whatever the Codex Shredder thing, which
Shredder, Codex Shredder is.
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
But what I'm saying is, you had those two options, but there was a very small chance that you got Monovault, which I got one. Can you hit the button, please?
Oh, good
Out of 30 of them opening, I got one out of that. But having that chance of, or that same feel of opening packs, I think is a good thing, because it makes it so that you don't know what's coming. So maybe if they did that, where it's like a relatable thing, which we are getting in this, supposedly. I don't know if that's 100% true, but there's, what is it? Snapcaster, which I don't know if that's actually an accurate thing, because I have not seen it on eBay. I have not seen it on TCG, but that was supposedly one of the rare drops in the Hatsune Miku one. I personally think, because I haven't seen it in any of those spots I've been checking, I think that one's a fake. I do know that
at this point,
the Elish Norn is a real one. That one is real.
Okay.
But that is a small percentage of getting that one in one of those drops. It's in one of the
right.
Outlaws
But
drop.
we're definitely getting to see secret layer talk here. But like, I'm not saying that, I like that idea, but you're also saying like, I'm very happy with the Elvish Mystic. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's on theme with that.
Right. No, I agree.
With that drop, or even if you gave me a second foil like Harmonize, I'd be like, I got this
Right.
layer. I'm happy with the cards in it. You get me another one, I'm down with it. And so like, I'd be much happier with that than, multiple random elves that are commons that I have a bunch of already.
Right. But
like the same art. I just don't care about them.
what it does though is like, now it drives that collection part, because of the slivers. I'll tell you, for my like, now I want all those slivers.
But
I don't have a damn
and for me,
sliver
I don't
deck.
care.
I know, but
You know
you
what I
know
mean?
what I'm saying? But like, now, because they did it, I'm like, well, I don't have Sliver Hive in there, because that was one of the rare drops they had. They have rarity of the ones dropping. Now it has this drive of, I want to get those. And when they did the blueprints in those and all that, I see what you're saying and I agree with you, but then I also see why they have it go the other way too, because then it drives this.
And I see what you're saying, but I'd rather just be happy. So I do what I'm asking. All right, we should move on.
This is what happens when you've been drinking and an hour in and 3 some beers deep. All right, you guys can support the Commander Smiths like our new patron. We're gonna give a shout out again to Adam. We got another Adam, so I guess this is, number 2 has a Adam number 3, so it'll be an Adam number 4, but Adam Anderson.
Welcome to a meat forest.
That sounds like a fairy tale of a meat forest.
I was just reading what Scott was saying. Can I tip 20 to be the stumper this week, since Larry beat me so bad? He's trying to bribe.
Not this week.
And also, I want to give that shout out again to Ted for reaching Garuk, the golden Garuk Dong level. That is donating over $500, a lifetime member. You reach Garuk Dong level by donating over $100 as a patron and all that stuff. So
OG Discord member.
Yeah, there we go. So
and AJ just got his playmat too, right?
The AJ got it the month before. So we have a lot of golden Garuk Dongs out there at this point, because we got some long-term members here. So you guys, that supports us. Basically everything that you guys throw at us, it doesn't go into our pockets. It goes back into the show. So it's either doing these prizes, which next week we'll be doing the next patron giveaway, which is opening collector boosters.
2 weeks from now is SmithCon.
Yeah, and SmithCon, that all goes into SmithCon, goes into prizes, goes everything we do. The next thing, our goal is to be doing the in real life games. So that is our next goal we're gonna shoot for here.
Next goal
at some point here.
Maybe some edibles.
Yep, that's gonna be something. That's,
don't steal our idea, everybody.
If you do it after us, that means you stole it from us. So that is in the works, but we have to get through SmithCon first. So basically, everything that you guys donate towards us, it goes right back into the show. Even when you donate when we're live and making us take Malort shots, it goes back into the show we just keep trying to expand this thing and keep growing as we do, and support everything, or appreciate everything that you guys do towards us. But when you become a patron, you get in not only on the Discord, you can get proxies each month if you so choose. You're chatting with us and everything like that. But then also, like I said, it's supporting us there. But the other way you can support us is to check out YouTube, watch us there, give us subscribe there, give us likes. If you're listening, that is the way to listen. Watch us on YouTube. The other way to support the show is check out the Commander Smith store. That's where we have all our Smith swag. We have the play mats right there. We have the t-shirts. We have the metal tokens, the Yeti cups that we are both drinking out of, and so on and all that. So if you're coming to SmithCon, you don't need to go there because you're going to get it in person. But if you guys want to get some Smith swag, check out the store. It's commandersmiths.com. We have tons of videos. Last week we had Is It Worth It? Like I mentioned, we talked about all the commander decks. Lowry did a Secret Lair box opening. We talked about that. You had a whole bunch of curated MTGs. There was...
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about one in particular? Nope. Okay.
No.
He's going to have more. They're shorts. Just make sure
I have one more left. And then I'm done until SmithCon, and I got Genku lined up. There's going to be a lot of... I'm excited for that deck. There's a lot of cool cards that I'm excited to play with.
Are you going to have that ready for SmithCon then?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'll do the making of it the week after SmithCon, so we're really talking like 2-3 weeks from now. But
okay.
There's a lot of curated. Go check them out. What did today was Hall of Gemstones. Enchantment 1 and 2 green, and essentially during everybody's upkeep, they get to say what mana is produced from lands that turn.
Yeah.
And so basically, lands only produce one color for everybody that turn.
So multicolored decks.
Monocolored green deck, it's great in there because nobody's going to be able to interact with you unless it's green. And if they have artifact lands kind of fuck with that shit, or not artifact rocks. But it's great. It's great in the new Gonti because any mana allows you to cast your opponent's spells. And there's a couple of other reasons to have it in there. But it's a great card. Go check out the curated.
I bought that card. I bought that card a long time ago and have never put it into a deck because it felt like it's so douchey. But that's good. No, it is. It's a good way to really hinder some multicolor decks. I dig that. All right. So this week we also have, we're going to try to get upgrades probably Wednesday. Does that work for you, Lowry? Wednesday on air production?
Does it? I don't know. Maybe. Sure.
Because I can't do Thursday and I can't do Friday. So it's either tomorrow, which I
can't do Wednesday or Saturday. Yeah, let's do Wednesday.
I'm going to be gone.
Sure.
All right. So upgrades, we're going to go through the precons and give you the budget upgrades. That's going to be this week. If I get my Secret Lair in time, I will open all of the ones. It's a lot of them. All the Secret Lairs that I ordered. The following week, we did go through and we got battle boxes going to start up here. So we're going to do battle boxes and the patron giveaway. So just tons of
likely
videos
next Thursday.
Yep. So right before SmithCon. So tons of stuff. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok. And you can direct message us by shooting us an email at commandersmiths@gmail.com. See how I ignored X there? We're just going right over it because we don't even do anything there anymore. Let's get to it.
Did you just see me masturbate with the X version?
I did. That was pretty fantastic, Lowry. All right.
It wasn't.
There we go. It's time for everyone's favorite game show, Stump the Smith Savant. All right. If you guys don't know how this game works, I am going to read the flavor text of a card, and Lowry is going to try to guess a card by asking yes or no questions. Every yes will hear this.
Hello, boobies.
Every no will hear this.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
He will get up to 5 wrong guesses before he's considered stumped. He gets up to 3 clues. If he can get everything about the card but can't get what the card name is, he will get a... Oh, wait. He will get the initial... Wait. You get everything about the card. You will get the initials of the card. If you have a clue left over, you'll get a bonus clue. The card has to be in at least 10,000 EDH rec decks. Like I mentioned before, the card up for ante at this point is Anointed Procession. This is our prize. It is the foil proxy that my son helped me make. After every 3 weeks, we will add a card to the ante. So right now, we are on round 30, week 3. So if Lowry does not get stumped this week, we'll add a card to the ante. Your overall record is 92-30. This week's stumper is Renshai. Renshai and you have a interesting record in the past, so we'll see if he can overcome.
What's that record? 0-3?
Yeah. All right.
I could have went bigger.
I have eliminated
Lifetime?
the chat, so chat can try to play along and see if they can guess it before Lowry does. I believe that is it, and here we go. Those with knowledge are wise to listen to those with imagination. Those with knowledge are wise to listen to those with imagination.
Well, Renshai, I will admit that it's not a snap. I know it.
Like Wasteland.
Congratulations on that. All right. Those with knowledge are wise to listen to those with imagination. So this feels like a blue card, and I'd like to add in another color. Doesn't feel like imagination is blue, knowledge is blue, red really isn't either of those. Black isn't really either of those. Like white? It definitely feels like a blue card. I'm unsure if it's permanent or non through this. Those with knowledge are wise to listen to those with imagination. It's definitely, it feels like a blue-green card because those assholes. Is this card, does this color identity of the card have blue, green, and or white?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
So I just knocked off 3 colors?
You did.
Is that what we're saying? All right. A little surprised there. Okay. So that leaves us with black, red, colorless.
The funny thing is Renshai can't guess right now, so he said it's hard not to talk shit right now because you can't even see when he's talking shit.
That's true. I can talk shit. I'm kind of done because I'm in trouble. This doesn't. Knowledge and imagination generally go. It's kind of referencing somebody that's should be listening, so that could make it a permanent. But when you're talking knowledge and imagination, that tends to be like a non-tangible entity, which is non-permanent. So that's the part. Can I get first clue, please?
The art features a woman gifting a well-known relic. The art features a woman gifting a well-known relic.
Did he give you these clues, or did you make them
I
up?
made these clues.
Okay. A well-known relic. Gifting.
While you're thinking, I have a Mitch Hedberg joke. I like Kit Kat, unless you're with 4 or more people.
Does he have to share?
And also, I'm going off memory. It's not on here, but he does the joke with Kit Kat where he's like, I think Kit Kat, they rob you of chocolate because the name is imprinted in the chocolate, which is a clever chocolate saving technique.
Did you see my text saying that we need to take some? Okay, you didn't respond.
But Mitch
so
Hedberg is
obviously-
Minnesota, so it fits.
No, I
with,
get that, but she's funny.
there's
it's just
there's lots
puns.
of comedians that are funny.
It's good. You're right, but we need something like one-liners. We don't need like fucking
I just
paragraphs.
I didn't give you.
I'm not saying Mitch is bad. I'm just saying.
How about this one?
I don't know.
A
I don't know.
waffle is like a pancake.
I'd like to give up.
a pancake
kidding.
with a syrup trap, because it is.
Those with knowledge are wise to listen to those with imagination.
I think the jokes throw you
Is
off.
this a non-permanent spell?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Too wrong. What is going on?
So is this black and or colorless?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
There's one thing that you haven't named, and that's you.
Two wrong?
You have three.
Three wrong. So it's a permanent. And it has red color identity.
Hello, boobies.
Hey, your first hello boobies. Red Shy, I told you. He said make the clues hard. I was like, I don't have to. You're destroying yourself.
Are wise to listen to those with imagination. Okay, so this is a red permanent. I have three wrong. I'll take
I don't
the
have
second
any
clue.
I don't have any guesses on the chat either. All right, the text features first turn attacks and generates a token at the start of combat if conditions are met. The text features first turn attacks and generates a token at the start of combat if conditions are met. Back to my Mitch Hedberg jokes. Fettuccine Alfredo is macaroni and cheese for adults.
True. Probably true. I like both. No,
Scott, no.
Knowledge are wise to listen to those with imagination. All right, so we know it's red. We know it's a permanent. Permanents would be planeswalker, unlikely, creature, enchantment, unlikely to be an artifact, I think.
No, sarcastic prophet.
So we're talking enchantment or creature. Is this a creature and or enchantment?
Hello, boobies.
It feels like it's weird because like how you described clue number 2 made it feel like it's like a goblin, but like knowledge and or imagination doesn't work with goblins, if that makes sense.
They don't have that kind of ability. You call them,
right.
You call them goblins stupid?
I am. They're real dumb. Those with knowledge are wise to listen to those with imagination.
Let me go through the clues again. You read that, so then the first one is
you can do that and go into the third clue as well.
the art features a woman gifting a well-known relic. The text features first turn attacks and generates a token at the start of combat if conditions are met. Clue number 3. This card is in 72,000 EDH rec decks. Is seen in 83% of all Winota Joiner of Forces decks. And is first printed in Commander 2018. This card is in 72,000 EDH rec decks, seen in 83% of all Winota Joiner of Forces decks, and first printed in Commander 2018.
All right. Winota is definitely attack based. Cares about humans and non-humans and shit like that. And we know it's red white, so we're at red. We know it's likely a creature. Not a real question.
Sarcastic Prophet, you have one of them right. The other one, the second one, is not.
Can I hear the first clue? First and second clue again.
The art features a woman gifting a well-known relic. The text features first turn attacks and generates a token at the start of combat if conditions are met.
Fucking good question. Both of those feel like, and then it's Commander 18, 70,000 dex. That's a shit ton. So it should be there, but it's not. Great job, Renshai. Not giving it to you, but it's. You know what? Beginning of the episode, give you a little blow kiss. There we go.
Continue the blow kiss. There it is. AJ got it.
Nice job. Nice job. Okay. Second clue, please.
The text features first turn attacks and generates a token at the start of combat if conditions are met.
If conditions are met.
He told me to make this one harder, so I went harder.
Who did? He did?
Yeah, and I thought because
Right.
72,000 EDH rectags, I was like, I do have to make this one tougher, which if I would have done it anyways.
First clue, please.
The art features a woman gifting a well-known relic.
Jesus. All right, let's is this a creature?
Hello, boobies.
I am so uncertain of this. So it still feels like a goblin. Second clue again?
The text features first
Haste.
turn attacks
Haste.
and generates a token at the start of combat if conditions are met.
What conditions? The beginning of combat. A condition is met. So like if you have multiple creatures or not enough, and so that potentially makes sense, but I have no idea what that would be. And so we're talking first one is a woman handing over a well-known relic.
Yep.
Relic tends to be artifact. Are you sacrificing an artifact to get that trigger? That also nothing there. Doesn't make any sense. You're not giving anything. Maybe you're getting something. Maybe you didn't look at the card right.
Are you talking to me that I did that?
No, I'm talking to myself. You weren't supposed to hear whatever I'm thinking.
You douche canoe.
Attack? No, it likely has haste. I think it probably creates. I have 3 wrong?
Yep.
Can I do how general? Let me know if it's too general, not. But anywhere on the card is goblins involved?
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Yeah. All right, that's 4 wrong. We know it's a red creature.
You don't want to lose to Renshai.
You're right. I don't, because okay. Likely produces a token creature. Treasure? Treasure? Hold on.
I'm gonna give you a joke. I'm a heroin addict. I need to have sex with women who have saved someone's life. You're just focused.
Sorry, didn't hear. Did you say sex?
Yep. I'm a heroin addict. I need to have sex with women who have saved someone's life.
You're right. I don't care about that. What is the commander? What is it from?
Okay.
Originally,
this card is 72,000 EDH Rec decks, seen in 83% of all Winota Joiner of Forces decks, first printed in Commander 2018.
2018. Not a goblin. Second clue again?
The text features first turn attacks and generates a token at the start of combat if conditions are met.
No, that was 2018. We're talking 6 years ago. How long have we been doing this podcast?
6 years.
6.5?
Yeah, 6.5 years, yeah.
What put it there? What's that year? What do we do? Commander. Beginning year. Okay, so does that creature have haste?
Hello, boobies.
You
I'm
like
at 4 wrong. This is any misstep at this point.
Yeah.
Fuck. It creates a token if conditions are met. What is that part? We know it's haste. We know it's a creature. We know it's not a goblin. We know that it creates a token. The question ends up being, is it, I feel like it's a treasure and or it's not and or it's or some type of creature also attacking. Probably that, because like Winona ends up being like the amount of creatures that are attacking, not attacked, I believe. Kind of like Rafine, where like it matters on how many creatures are actually attacking versus the amount that attacked. Just a like slight difference. And I'm fairly certain that Winota is in that category as well. But maybe not. We care about if it's a creature coming into play, attacking. What the fuck is it? It's not a goblin. That's the part that's throwing me. First clue, please, again.
This is the most I've ever had. That's awesome. The art features a woman gifting a well-known relic.
Second clue, second part.
It generates a token at the start of combat if conditions are met.
Conditions are met. And so that likely is how many creatures are attacking. If like another creature or two are attacking. Holy shit. I don't know if I'm getting there. I'm so far away. Is it? Is the token that's being produced a creature?
Hello, boobies.
Okay. Great.
You were kind of hoping that was it. They're like, oh, nope, didn't get it.
Shoot. Could be some type of like bullshit, like battalion, like multiple creatures attacking with it. I don't know. Commander 2018.
Yep.
Good fucking question. We got. If I can place it, it's a woman gifting. First clue.
That's perfect. Actually, you're
Right. That, but I have no picture in my head. I know that's how it would go.
You remember when we talked about like someday doing like 2 hours of just doing Stump the Smith Savant?
Yeah.
This would take up like all of it.
That's today.
We couldn't do multiple. We'd do it until you got it. You failed. Like that was the idea. I don't think we can do that. We'd have to have a time limit on it. And like just be like,
It's not that bad, are we? It's getting bad.
What did you want the first one again?
Yeah. What the shit? If I could place Commander 2018, but I don't know if I know that. I don't that'd be pre-Streets of New Capenna. That'd be around Ikoria. Oh, around Ikoria. Okay. That's something.
Scott said he'd be in for that show if we did just a Stump the Smith Savant marathon. Try to.
I don't know if my brain could take it.
You couldn't be drinking beer. Maybe it starts that way.
All right. So we had enemy colors. That would be like Kelsian, Calamax. You had three others. You had the green, white, black one, which doesn't matter. You had a red, white, blue one, which is likely it. That's probably it right there. And then so the cycling one. What's the last one? Red, black, white. Red, black, white. So that'd be the human one. That is likely where it's at. Okay, so we know that it creates a creature on attack. We know that it has to meet some type of standard. It's not a goblin. Red creature. I'll bet you it's the red, black, white one. Hold on. Red, white, black. Green, red, blue. No. We know it. Not the green, white, blue. Red, white, blue. Maybe. And then what's the last? Green, black, blue? Okay. So it's either a red, white, blue deck or green. Not green, but red, white, black. And more than likely it's red, white, black. That was human, attack triggers, creating tokens. That it was in that deck.
You know, when someone hands you a flyer, it's like they're saying, here, you throw this shit away.
Great stuff. Good stuff. Red, white, black. Could you tell me if it was in that deck or not?
I don't know. I don't have it there.
But that was like human centered. Doesn't mean that it is a human, but could be creating humans.
I'll tell you this: my bladder is about to explode because I got to pee so bad.
Good. I might stall a little bit longer.
I might just leave.
Oh my god. Well, I'm out too. Disappointing. Holy shit.
Renshai, this has to make you feel good because he really wants to get this and doesn't want to fail.
I don't want to fail. But I might have to. I think I'm close, but nothing is popping in there. It's been a while.
You conceding? When I get the final word, then I'll give you more clues.
Concede.
Oh, congratulations, Renshai. All right, Lowry. Here comes some extra clues.
All right.
Would the ability Lieutenant help you? It is the conditions met. You remember what Lieutenant is?
Damn it. 1 in a red. It's 2-1.
Hello, boobies.
Creates a 1-1 flying mirror token.
Get it right? Because that's the well-known relic. What is our well-known relic that we've had from
Ornithopter.
Thopter? Yeah, Thopter.
Hello, boobies.
Oh yeah, flying mirror.
Yeah.
Dum.
If the initials were L.A.
Not sure if that would have popped in there, but what is it?
Loyal
Apprentice?
There it is.
Hello, boobies.
Let me show it.
Nice job, Renshai.
You
nice
got
job.
him, Renshai. Oh, yeah, I made it a little more coded there.
No, that was great. That was great. Perfect. I wasn't there, but was it can I see the original symbol, please? I don't.
The shield one.
Yeah, that was the I wasn't thinking the right commanders because that was the oral one with the planeswalker, and that makes more sense. That works. So I was way off. Hey, keep it decent. I we're playing, and it's just mano a mano. You don't have to suck it, Lowry, by any means.
Suck it, Lowry.
If we're doing that, I'm just gonna say you're probably like Road Dogg or Billy Badass, and I'm gonna be the Undertaker. I'm gonna just show up behind you and tombstone you if that's what you want. If that's what you want to do.
All right, so Renshai, you win the anointed procession, the foil anointed procession done by myself and my youngest. Next week we start a new batch. Let me get a name drawn here. Oh.
Good one, definitely a good one. Nice job.
Congratulations, buddy. And AJ's on. AJ is the next one. So
there we
AJ
go.
is our
AJ's
next
gonna have to tune
stumper.
in for a second week in a row.
So we got AJ next week. Remember, you guys can submit your submissions. You can submit your entries
That's how that works.
on Discord if you're part of the Discord, or you can direct message us at commandersmiths@gmail.com. And your name will be drawn. At some point, you will get drawn. So it just depends on if you're in the the proxy area or if you get an ante and all that stuff. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the submission there, Renshai. And congrats on winning. That should do it for this week. Make sure you guys check us out later this week. We have a bunch of videos happening this week and next week. So make sure you guys check that out. That should do it for this week. We'll catch you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
See ya.
Bye.
Suck up.
I love boobs. I'm talking tatas. I love boobs. I'm bonkers for honkers.
I have to pee
I
so
love
bad.
boobs. Thanks for the memories. I
Go pee.
love
You can leave.
boobs.
Night night. Hey Meat Force, could you kindly tap the like and subscribe button? And if you're ever in the mood, head on over to commandersmiths.com and you can get the shirts and mugs you see on the screen and some other stuff. Thank you.